You know, a lot of the guys who do shop welding videos have one of these also. And, you know, I kind of don't like having to get down on the floor to cut stuff. Particularly, I don't bend so much anymore. Not so easy. And some of the tables are pretty big and everything, and those are actually pretty good tables, but this particular shop I don't think would do well with a big table for just chop saw. So because everything's got to be on wheels, even my new iron worker, it's not mine, but the new iron worker here has wheels on it. So does that 90-ton press. Great big old thing, and it's got wheels on it. Check that out. It's big old casters. So everything's got to have wheels on it so we can move it around a little easier. The shop here just isn't that big. So what I think I'm going to do is just build a table that's a little bit bigger than the chop saw and put a shelf under it. You know, the horizontal surface syndrome. Accumulate more crap under it if you got a shelf. And just use those rollers, you know, those material handling rollers, and they're adjustable in height. They don't have wheels on them, but they're light enough just to pick up. And part of the reason I want a shelf is because I got that there ugly looking chop saw there. That's a friction chop saw. It has a cutting wheel on it, like a thin die grinder or grinder wheel. You know, it works by friction. And this here thing has got an actual saw blade on it. It has teeth and cuts the material that way. And particularly on light, thin material, this saw is just too aggressive. So the other saw is a little bit better. And the iron worker, this particular one, I do not have a square tube shear. So I can't do square tube and can't do channel and a bunch of other stuff. So this is a great machine, but it doesn't do everything. So I'll make that table and show you the results of my insanity, my workmanship, and see what you think. Well, there it is. Pretty straightforward. Used wood to fill it in. Didn't have any plate. So made it 24 front to back, 14 side to side. And I made the uprights 30 inches. So it's about, I don't know, pretty close to 36 inches to the table, and then whatever the distance there is on the chop saw table. But with the adjustable stands, it'll be really easy to get everything adjusted and everything. And I was going to put three shelves, you know, the top, bottom, and a middle one, but kind of feel like it'd make it too hard to get to the bottom saw to swap them out. So maybe, just maybe, I'll put the shelf that I was originally going to put here, out here, and see if I can snag a little piece of either hardware cloth or expanded steel. I want a fairly fine one, so if I get small parts I'm cutting off, it'll just drop in there and the chips will fall through. So even the iron worker is up on wheels now, and this chute the previous owner put on is a real good idea. And I think because when the angle cutter cuts out a small section of angle and drops it down between the two support beams, and it winds up landing right here, I think I'm just going to take a little piece of tin, or, you know, some light sheet metal, or maybe even a piece of wood, and just have it deflect out and come down, and I'd kind of like to figure out a way to put a bucket underneath that. Maybe I'll put a little shelf between the legs there and make me a big old tin bucket or something to catch all the knockouts out of both of these processes. But this has been real helpful. In order to miter the corners on the chop saw shelves, what I did is I put in some marks on both sides here, and I held the angle in at an angle, and it mitered the ends, and it did it quite nicely, very smoothly. The shear showed no sign of being overloaded or unhappy at all, and did a real nice job. I'm afraid my skills with it aren't that good, and at the speed I like working, I really need a steel table to clamp everything to. I'm just too impatient to do it right without a steel table, but that's my doing, not the tools or anything like that. So anyway, it's coming along. We're getting there. I finally got the fitting for that big old beastie to make its next step towards function. So hopefully I'll show that working here in the next couple of weeks.